Hello, guys. Today we're going to talk about the new immigration law that Florida is about to pass. Well, they already approved it. It's going to go in effect on July 1st. Now, I don't really know much about the law. It seems pretty straightforward, but as you can see, a lot of, especially the Hispanic community, are not happy about this new law, and we're going to see what are their concerns and maybe the possibility of the effect of the law.
Tonight, thousands of Floridians are skipping work and taking to the streets.
¡Viva la gente trabajadora! ¡Viva los inmigrantes!
In what's being called a day without immigrants in protest over Florida's new immigration law. Scores of restaurants and stores across the state shutting down for the day in solidarity against Florida Senate Bill 1718, which goes into effect July 1st. At El Mariachi restaurant in West Palm Beach.
I'm looking around your restaurant right now. It's empty.
Empty.
Why?
Because we trying to support all the immigrants. Most of them are in protesting.
The empty restaurant costing Victor Prado $3,000 a day. And this could be a looming crisis for him. He's lost the majority of his employees in just the last few weeks.
They afraid. They're moving for another state.
They moved to another state.
Yeah.
Governor Ron DeSantis touting the new law as the strongest crackdown on illegal immigration in the country.
So what you want to do?
So if it's about illegal immigration, I don't know why people would be afraid. I know sometimes, most of the times actually, the bill can actually entice prejudice. For example, if the bill goes into effect, more police officers are more incentivized to pull over a Hispanic person and then try to ID them. That's a possibility that the bill itself can cause. But if a lot of people are moving away in drones, it kind of, I don't know. I'm very in between. I know the bill is about trying to prevent illegal immigrants from, staying in the country or the state. But I don't understand the commotion. If you guys, can please enlighten me in the comment section. I don't understand the commotion about the whole thing, because if they're illegal, they don't have the right papers. A lot of people who are in this country actually, did it through the legal way. So maybe you guys probably have a better solution than what's his name, DeSantis has came with. But so far, it's not. People in Florida, we haven't felt the effect of the protest. We will see how it goes on July 1st, but
Would say there's not benefits for coming illegally.
Among the new requirements, local governments are banned from issuing ID cards to the undocumented or recognizing another state's. Hospitals are required to ask for patients' immigration status and collect the information. And
now the question I have for that one is, say for example, an undocumented immigrant needs medical attention. Will the hospital check before they treat him, or are they gonna check after? And if they do check before and they know that he or she is undocumented, are they able to proceed with the treatment, or do they have to leave them aside on the street? That's one thing that could that's a possibility. And it's also the whole racial profile thing again. You treat the person, they don't have their documentations, and now sometimes I believe the hospitals can get sued. I don't know if they if that's possible, but and then enhance the penalties for human smuggling.
law also enhances the penalties for, quote, human smuggling.
This law, first of all, would make it a third-degree felony to drive with an undocumented person, even if they're your family member across state lines.
According to Pew Research, there are more than 700,000 mixed-status families across Florida, meaning there's at least one undocumented person in the family. Many of those people choosing to push back against the governor.
It would make sense that the whole community would protest because they're mainly the one that's affected. I'm curious if they would have done the same if, for example, it was like if the law was affecting a different community, or a different culture, would they themselves protest, or they just mind their business? As of right now, it seems like it's affecting them the most, but I don't have the stats, so.
Ha tomado la decisión de criminalizar a los migrantes, de deshumanizar porque deshumaniza.
I heavily understand, for example, if, the parents are here illegally and then, they have a child here in America, and obviously the child automatically become a citizen. I understand that the parents or the children themselves, if they're of age, can protest out of, just because out of bias, like your parents came here and, provided for you. But the thing is, they're undocumented. So I understand that there's a little bit of bias in there as well.
Con esa ley, porque nos hace saber que no somos nada.
As for Prado, he says despite the losses, he's joining the fight, taking a stand in solidarity with all those who, like him, are here to fulfill a dream that is now being threatened.
We come to this country for a better life. It's a dream. That's why you come to this country.
Yes, that is true. You do come to this country to have a better life, but the process of coming to the country is what the government is not agreeing with.
And Sam Brock joins us now from Palm Springs, Florida. Sam, this is a complicated law. You laid out some of the specific details in your report there, but there's a lot to unpack here. Do we know which businesses will be most impacted by this? And is there any indication in terms of how or if this will be enforced?
Yeah, Ellison, so much attention has been on the E-Verify aspect of this, and the way that the law is written, those businesses with 25 or more employees for new hires, they have to use E-Verify. But as we've seen, people are scared and leaving their jobs anyway, even when their companies don't meet the threshold, because there's just this atmosphere of fear. And in terms of actually enforcing it, it takes effect in only about 3 or 4 weeks.
Sam,
I still don't understand the fear thing. For me, the fear is caused because of guilt. That's my assumption. If I know sometimes, life happens, but sometimes when a person is innocent, they're usually confident and aren't too worried about, like if they commit a crime or something. But, things do happen and the innocent do go to jail. So I understand in that perspective, but to me, I'm kind of getting like a person is guilty. Maybe they don't have the documentation, so that's why they're fleeing.
you were speaking with business owners, employees, saying that they have already lost some employees because of the fear that this has already caused, even though it hasn't gone into effect yet. What else are these owners telling you about their plans moving forward?
So here's what struck me as so sobering, Ellison, sort of the multidimensional aspect of this. Yes, the business owner, restaurant owner we spoke with has lost 9 of 13 employees in recent weeks. But I was speaking to a woman whose family owns this Western clothing store and several other businesses, including an ice cream shop and a taco truck. And what she told me is with their employees are all still there. It's the customers that have dropped off. They have seen a massive precipitous fall in who's actually coming out as people are concerned not just about the E-Verify aspect of things, but as we covered earlier, the fact that you can't get into a car right now, transportation and shelter. For the people that are sheltering or transporting undocumented migrants, they could be facing a third-degree felony, which would come with up to 5 years behind bars. So there's just, again,
I'm not going to lie, 5 years is pretty damn scary. I can see why this law right here, this specific part of the law can scare a lot of people. And yeah, 5 years in prison. That's crazy. And I don't like the way they use the word transport as if like you're smuggling them in the country or like in the state itself. It's more like, hey, it's my mom or it's my dad. Yes, they're illegal and I'm taking them to work. I'm not transporting them, we're just going to work.
And this idea that life as we know it has changed completely here in Florida for folks who would be going to areas they were frequenting only 3 weeks ago. They're not doing it anymore.
Sam Brock in Palm Springs, Florida. Thank you.
All right, so this is the end of it here, but I'm going, I wouldn't say I did research, but I know that this, I would say the business that would be affected the most is the agriculture business department, because this is where majority of the labor, and also the construction crew as well. This is where you'll find a lot of Hispanics there. I know there's the stereotype saying that if they leave, who's gonna do it? The Americans are lazy. I've heard that a lot, and I don't think it has to do with anything about the Americans being lazy in the sense. It's more like the farmers, the construction companies are just taking advantage of the illegal immigrants because they know that they can't really protest against the companies because what are they gonna do? You know, they're illegal. So I know they don't get. I'm pretty positive they don't have benefits, no Medicaid, no insurance, very low wages. So I know for a fact that even though the law hasn't taken into effect yet, the agriculture and the construction companies and all the other companies are really taking advantage of the illegal immigrants in that part. So when a person, a documented person, does the same job as an illegal immigrant, and they see that the pay is not enough, they're not getting any benefits, they leave because they know that somewhere else, for example, Walmart, will give them a better pay. I don't believe it has to do with how their work ethic. I don't think it's because they're lazy. It's just because they know that there's better opportunities out there, and they don't have to work in the field. So the illegal immigrants, they don't really have a choice. They get what they can get, and hopefully maybe years down the line they can somehow work and get their paper situated. I really don't know how that part works. My parents came here legally. I know a lot of people that came here legally by doing the right thing. So this is my take on this whole Florida immigration law. I'm kind of in the middle. I see what the government is trying to do, and I also understand why there's a lot of protests, especially where it could intensifies racial profiling. But at the same time, if you guys have a better solution, please comment it in the comment section below. If you have your own comments or your own disagreement or whatever, just comment it in the comment section below. And please don't forget to subscribe. Peace out.
Get out the way, who got a watch, who got the time, I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm trying to get these ends.